Hola chicos, we're going to learn to use the subjunctive with impersonal expressions. So, what is an impersonal expression? Do impersonal expressions have a subject? We have already studied these when we did impersonal expressions but with the infinitive of the verb. Ejemplo, es importante estudiar todos los días. As you can see, es importante is the impersonal expression, and the verb estudiar is in its infinitive form. We have already done these in class. Impersonal expressions do not have a specific subject when talking about an action. We use these when we want to make a generalization. Observe the following examples. Es importante reciclar los papeles. Es malo tirar la basura en el suelo. Es útil saber dos idiomas. As you can see, these are impersonal expressions plus infinitive forms of the verbs reciclar, tirar, and saber. Please take a moment to take out your notes with other impersonal expressions. And remember, the impersonal expressions can be used with the present tense es, the past tense of ser fue, the futuro será. So now we're going to look at impersonal expressions using the subjunctive. So I'm going to write some examples here. I want you to look at them carefully and observe what has changed, comparing to using the personal expressions with the infinitive verb. Es importante que la gente del mundo ayude el medio ambiente. Es malo que los negocios amanecen en medio ambiente. Take a few moments and observe these sentences. Again. Did you notice that we have an impersonal expression? We have the word que, and we have a second subject, ustedes. Can you also look in the second clause after the que that there is a verb? And observe that the verb recicle, reciclar, so if you observe the verb reciclar has changed to recicle. The verb ayudar, ayude. And the verb amenazar changed to amenacen. So you can see that your verb endings are flipped. Do you remember what other tense we learned that the verb is flipped? How do we form a sentence using the subjunctive mood? So let's break it down. Let's look at this formula. So we're going to have the impersonal expression, and I'm putting here with subject. For now, it's a generalization since we're using impersonal expressions. Later, as we continue to study the subjunctive mood, you will see a different subject. After that, you see the word que. And then we have a second clause where you see the second subject. So, as you can see, The dependent clause is the one with the impersonal expression. Now you have to remember, like in English class, what is a dependent clause? The second clause is the independent clause, and this is where we use the subjunctive mood. Your verb flipping. And in class, I will go over with a little bit more detail in terms of using these dependent and independent clauses. On the next slide, you're going to see some examples. So here you see some examples. Pay close attention to the different colors. Sentence number 1. Es bueno que ustedes reciclen las latas. As you can see, in red is the impersonal expression. Then you have que in brown. And you have the second subject, ustedes, in green. And your verb, reciclar, reciclen. Sentence 2. Es importante que la gente ayude al medio ambiente. Again, in red, the impersonal expression, plus que, in green, the second subject, the verb ayudar in blue, which changes to ayude. Sentence number 3. Es malo que los negocios amenacen el medio ambiente. Observe again, in red, the impersonal expression, plus que, second subject, los negocios in green, verb amenazar in blue, amenacen. Observe the endings of your 3 verbs, reciclen, ayude, amenacen. They are flipped. How do we form present subjunctive? Please open your textbooks to page 183. As you can see, the first step is to change your verb or conjugate your verb in the Joel form. Do you remember why it's important to conjugate your verb in the Joel form first? Take a moment to think. Observe in the 2 charts. The AR verb, hablé, hables, hable, hablemos, hablen. The endings are flipped. Observe the ER chart. The verb is escribir. Escriba, escribas, escriba. Escribamos, escriban. They have AR verb endings. Please practice and do activity 6 on page 184. Hasta luego, chicos.